This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
Y'all, welcome back to another episode of This Might Get Weird. I'm going to take a sip of my non-alcoholic beer to start us off on the weird vibes.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Not only did your mic stand break right before we started recording, but she's drinking a non-alcoholic beer. And honestly, I gotta say, I am so impressed and proud of your dedication to Dry January amid the absolute chaos of the last week.
I will say, and we will get into all of it, and now I hear a helicopter above us.
Yeah.
So we're living in crazy times, but let's just focus on the positive for right now, and then we'll get through it. The dry January of it all.
Yes.
Today is officially 2 weeks
Wow.
without alcohol.
Nice. How
Yeah.
do you feel?
The same.
Really?
Let me tell you. And I feel like I've said this before. I like to drink. I love to drink. I don't think I've gone a full 2 weeks since I did Dry January in 2020, right before the pandemic.
Was that the last time you did Dry January?
Yeah, I used to do it every year. Or then I'd do like Dry January, and then I would do like 3 weeks in like May or something. Like I'd do a mid-year tune-up.
Yeah.
Not commit to a whole month. But this is the first time I've done Dry January since then. So this is the first time I've been this sober in 5 years.
Really taking it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Now you get to feel what it's like to dissociate in times of stress rather than just drink.
Oh, okay. I guess I've been kind of doing a combo of both. But no, everyone says, just wait. When you're like a weekend, you're just going to be popping out of bed. Here's the thing. I do think I'm sleeping better.
Yeah.
But I'm just doing more of it.
Yeah.
I'm not popping out of bed. I still want to stay in bed.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe part of that is just so I can sleep more so I can get this thing over quicker.
But that's the thing. It's like you're not doing Dry January because you're sober curious. You're doing Dry January because you want to
lose 5 pounds and like ensure myself I don't have a problem.
So I do, I do think that people that are like, oh, this is a stepping stone to possibly my sober journey are like, okay, I have to really tune into the way it makes my body feel and the mornings feeling brighter and more energized.
Listen, I'm not poo-pooing like a Larry Bones all over it. I'm enjoying parts of it, like little things. It's more like the little changes of... It's still getting excited for treats because I'm a treat-based person.
Oh, yeah. Same.
So now it's instead of, and you guys, I'm still like California sober. You guys know I never smoke weed. I'm drinking a little weed. And when I say a little, I mean what you wouldn't feel. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's like, you know how when people are like, I don't want a whole piece of cake, and they just like cut themselves like a little tiny sliver, but then they go back and they cut themselves another little tiny sliver.
That's me.
Yeah, and I got to experience it firsthand, which was lovely.
Okay.
Because we will tell you guys all about this last week. And also, thank you to everyone for like checking in on us. I don't want to jump ahead. I know we're talking
legitimately,
about
it feels like we had thousands of friends be like, are you okay? And what's so fucking crazy, you guys, is this is exactly what happened to me 4 months ago. All of you guys were making sure I was okay in North Carolina, and it's a wild time, but you guys are so sweet, and so it really felt like friends from all over were making sure we're okay.
Yeah, really really beautiful, and also just like we're all in this together.
We are. Okay, back to me.
Yeah.
We gotta bring a little levity, you guys.
Yes.
So anyway, there have been positive parts. I'm a treat-based person.
Yeah.
So instead now I go, ooh, what am I making for dinner?
Yes.
And it's been a little bit of a challenge because Chip is trying to go hard in the paint and do Dry January and keto.
Yeah, he's a masochist.
It's stupid.
I mean, if you're gonna do one, pile it on.
He also joined my gym. Like he went to like a HIIT class today.
Well, I know you guys are you're doing all the things.
We're crazy. He went and volunteered yesterday.
Incredible.
For like hours.
Incredible.
And then even our gym has a donation area, and he was like, I have a big truck if you guys need me to move. Yeah. I'm like, look, 2025 Chip, let's ride.
Yeah, truly. He is stepping up.
He's stepping up. Anyway, but so my treats now are like, what am I gonna make for dinner? That's delicious, but it's fun because I have almost like a chopped, like a food competition show challenge of how can I make it keto.
Yeah.
And then after that's done, first of all, Grace,
yeah,
I found the best non-alcoholic wine
Yeah, how is that? I saw that you were drinking it when we were down in Palm Springs.
No, that was bad. I was just doing it just for the sake of it.
Okay.
I found this one brand. Granted, it's not saving me any money. It's still like $35 a bottle.
Jesus.
Because they make it like wine and then they take the alcohol out.
Okay.
So the crappy ones are like non-alcoholic wine. This is de-alcoholed wine.
Okay.
So they make a beautiful wine and then they like centrifuge it and do all this stuff to get the alcohol out.
Okay.
Changed my life.
So you like the taste.
I love wine.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I love the taste of wine. I love wine.
No, people are different.
It's very different. So like for me, it's like the ritual of it, etc.
Yeah.
So I've been making my little weed cocktails, having a good time.
Yeah.
Was making them for you when we were in the Palm Springs. But I was like, I want that room temp hit.
Yeah.
And I found one and it's too pricey. But
damn,
I'm in heaven.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm in heaven. So I've been doing those little drinks at night and then getting like really nice chocolate bars.
That's great. That's a very elegant way to treat yourself. I
mean, listen, I'd love to do Cheetos and all that stuff. We're not keeping that in the house.
Yeah, good for you. Good for
Chip's
you.
little stoner ass. He can't resist.
We love snacking. That's all. I need a crunch every now and then.
Listen, when I got to Palm Springs and I saw the spread of snacks, you guys know me. I treat my house. My house has 5-course meals or nothing.
Yeah.
Like I don't keep snacks because I don't trust myself. I can't even have a smoked almond in this place before I've eaten 1,500 calories worth of almonds.
You've like Mamrie-proofed your house the way that people child-proof their homes. You've made sure that no matter how drunk you are, you cannot get into anything nefarious.
No. What am I going to do? Open and just like eat pinto beans with my hands?
Oh man, see, and the opposite is like, I need to set myself up for success. I know about every 3 hours I need to crunch on something.
I love it.
And I need it to be available for me.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that was the only way I knew how to help when we first evacuated was to go get everyone snacks.
Now you were pretty much sober the last couple years.
Yeah.
So has this been a change for you? Because also I found out that Jacqueline is drinking this weekend.
Wow.
So like I need you to stay strong with me, bud.
Oh, I'm strong. I'm good. I don't know. I'm trying to go past dry January, to be honest. Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, it's just, it is for me something especially post-treatment. Like,
oh, that makes sense.
Hank developed this almost allergy to alcohol. So he's been like non-voluntarily sober since his treatment. Where he just feels like shit as soon as he starts drinking.
Oh, like during the drinking too.
Yeah. And I will say that when I drink, it definitely does not feel the same that it did before treatment.
Okay.
So it's literally just, I'm like trying to do that kind of sober curious detangling of like, okay, why, other than just like feeling included socially or in some way, that I don't necessarily need it in my life like that. But Elliot's very different. Elliot loves having a drink and writing, having a drink with friends, having like a drink in the afternoon, like treat-based sort of.
He's
like
me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not wrong, but then I feel like, oh, well, I want one too if you're having one. And then I'm like, I actually don't. Like, it's
good for you for recognizing that.
Yeah. And also just like in terms of letting my body feel better, it's just that constant, we said we were going to talk about like resolutions and stuff too, but that constant like, oh, what actually does work for me and what doesn't work for me. And
That's
I don't really
true.
know, but I do know right now it hasn't been very hard to not drink for me. But in the past, it has been very, very hard for me not drink.
Yeah, like every day I wake up and I'm like,
and I remember what it felt like
day
to be
14.
I think once you go through like a very harrowing experience with your body, and then you become more attuned.
You don't just want to treat it like shit.
Right. That you're like, this is actually poison. And there are actual studies coming out now that do actually link it to cancer.
Don't remind me.
I know. And so like there are, and like I have listened to these Alan Carr books before for anyone that is actually trying to quit drinking. Alan Carr does this really incredible series for smoking and drinking that's very like old school, but like kind of timeless. And I've seen Nikki Glaser post about it before.
I feel like I remember you mentioning it.
Yeah. And it's really helpful. And I just started listening to that again because it's almost like I've been listening to on Audible. By the way,
I don't think they're sponsoring this week, but
they are.
Okay, well,
I just did the ad read for them before I came over.
That's a freebie, Audible.
Woo woo.
That's a freebie.
But he does the way the method is really simple, and it's about like reframing your like psychological relationship with alcohol.
Yeah.
Rather than like, Alcoholics Anonymous or any of these other programs that like admit that you're always going to be sick and you're never going to be whatever. That are a little bit more like you have to do willpower based methods. This is more like reprogramming the way you think about it and debunking just all of the constant societal messaging we hear about how cool and good it is, which isn't true at the base level. But that doesn't mean that
as
it's
someone
not
who has
for
a
everyone.
cocktail book coming out, I think it's very fucking cool.
Look,
Do not tank my future, Grace.
No, I'm not saying, I'm saying for myself, but I will say that it's literally just reevaluating everyone's like relationship with it.
Jacqueline and I went out last night.
Yeah.
And we met for mocktails and olives.
Yeah. Incredible.
We were like, look at us go.
Well, that's
I can
also-
still talk just as much shit sober.
I know. Once you start to realize that you can do everything sober that you thought you could only do drunk, you're like, wow, this is pretty powerful.
Well, it's nice to know that. And who knows? I've always thought, and I could be totally wrong, but like for the most part, unless you're getting like wildly drunk, I do think my personality remains consistent. Yeah. And so that's nice to know too, where I'm like, oh, I'm still just, because you get a little weird. You can be like, do I want to hang out? Am I awkward? And I'm like, oh no, I always have latent anxiety. It's not just the hangover.
Totally. And for me though, I think it started to become like a bit of a crutch because of anxiety.
Right.
That it's
I get that.
actually this is adding to my anxiety. But the way I'm thinking about it that this takes it away in the moment, maybe for a second, but the long-term effects are much more anxiety inducing.
Well, I will say I'm having a fun time creating mocktail. I equally Google best mocktails in LA and best martini in LA.
Nice.
As like my future reward.
Well, that's the thing is like all the younger generations are drinking less, and Los Angeles being like a hub that caters to everyone has a lot, I think, of non-alcoholic sections popping up in grocery stores.
They got them everywhere.
Yeah. And on menus at bars. So it's becoming more of a thing, which is, I think, great because both can coexist. And I think there's such a stigma around people not drinking that like someone has a problem or they can't handle themselves or they're a bad drunk, which might be the case for some people. But I think taking the stigma away that like just some people don't drink.
That's true.
And they're equally as fun and as sociable as people that do.
Here's the thing. I'm so delulu. I'm so absolutely delulu that I'm having 3 sips more than 3 sips of my Hitachino.
I'm like, that's 3/4 of the way gone.
Yeah, I have big sips. I'm drinking 3/4 of an NA beer, and I can convince myself I have a buzz.
Yeah,
that's
your
the glory of
imagination
Delulu.
is amazing.
Delulu.
That's one of your assets, is that your creative brain is very strong.
The start of the year is the perfect time to get organized, set goals, and prioritize what matters most. And for me, a top priority is my financial wellness, which feels more important than ever. So thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable. They show me all of my subscriptions right in one place and help me easily cancel ones that I forgot I've been paying for. Like that one time I agreed to download one of those AI apps so I could also see what I would look like as a medieval fairy. And turns out it's an annual fee. No. Rocket Money got in there and took care of it for me. They pulled together all of my spending across all of my different accounts so I can clearly track my spending habits and see where I need to cut back. If you have not tried it or heard of Rocket Money, where have you been? It's amazing. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. You guys, I guarantee you and your roommate or you and your significant other are both paying for Netflix. You just forgot when you combined households. Happened to me, it could happen to you. Rocket Money also monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Did I say lower your bills? Yeah, not everything is what you want to cancel. Sometimes you're just like, maybe I'm paying too much for this. Well, Rocket Money will get in there and try to negotiate bills for you. They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save and then ask them to negotiate. They'll deal with customer service so you don't have to. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. I know I have other things I'd like to spend $740 on. So cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/TMGW today. That's rocketmoney.com/TMGW. rocketmoney.com/TMGW.
The struggle to decide what to eat on a daily basis is real, but the struggle to decide what to eat on a daily basis that also is healthy and applicable to your dietary needs or restriction is very real, and that's why Hungry Root is there to help. It's the easiest way to eat healthy. It's like having a personal nutritionist. They take care of the stressful meal planning each week by recommending delicious recipes tailored to your tastes, nutrition preferences, and health goals. They make it easy to get high quality, nutritious food and achieve any diet or health goals by tailoring recipes to a variety of lifestyles, from anti-inflammatory to gut-friendly, gluten-free or dairy-free, high protein, and more. Planning meals and cooking really can be simple and stress-free. You just tell them about your goals and your preferences, and they fill your cart with personalized recommendations that get smarter as they learn more about what you like or didn't love. There's no high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, or preservatives in any of Hungry Root's food. They only source top quality meat and seafood free of hormones and antibiotics. All Hungry Roots recipes can be made in just 15 minutes or less. You heard that right. 15 minutes or less. And with over 15,000 recipes shipped each week, there's something for every taste and nutrition preference. As our bodies, I love Hungry Root because it is totally customizable to your specific dietary preferences. We have all been discovering our dietary preferences over the years lately, and they really cater to just about all of them. And the recipes are delicious. We got smoky hamburgers with caramelized onions, Mexican fajita chicken rice bowls. The rice bowls are awesome. And again, everything is made in 15 minutes. It's excellent. You're going to love Hungry Root as much as I do. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for a limited time. Get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Whoa, go to hungryroot.com/TMGW and use code TMGW. That's hungryroot.com/TMGW, code TMGW to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/TMGW, code TMGW.
Okay, let's just address literally what's happening like 6 miles away.
Yes.
Because everyone has been checking in.
Again, thank you.
Thank you. I'll say out of the gate, our houses are safe.
Yes, we are all safe. We are very privileged and lucky.
Very privileged.
To be able to have safe spaces to go to down in Palm Springs, to be able to take our family and friends there, to have... We are still not necessarily in the...
We're in a red flag district, which means like alert, but it doesn't mean, you need to leave.
Yeah, and the Watch Duty app, which
insane.
Never heard about it till last week.
It existed before and we just didn't know.
No idea.
It's insane.
It's incredible. And the fact that it hasn't crashed or like majorly glitched with how many people have clearly just started using it in the last week is amazing.
Whoever the Watch Duty programmers are like gonna get the biggest jobs of all time after this.
And they now have on the app, when you open it, like ways to support the nonprofit that runs it. So if any of you don't know, Watch Duty is like the best live real-time notifications of fire updates in the area.
Evacuations, how the wind is moving. Literally, it shows you to the acre how big the fire has grown. It's been really crazy. But so we've been watch dutying from afar. Essentially, it was, the fires were starting up. It was mainly the Palisades, which like...
That's in another... country basically from where we live in Los Angeles.
The Los Angeles is so big.
It's so big.
It's so big that for us to get to the Palisades, it would take like maybe an hour, At
least, yeah.
So while that was far away, when one popped up, that was, a lot closer to us.
Pasadena.
We're getting a little nervous. On Tuesday night, Chip and I kept going, should we just... And this was like 10 o'clock at night. We were like, should we just leave and drive to Palm Springs right now? Because I was going the next day anyway because my mom was flying in. And I was going to do a couple of like solo mom days and then Chip meet us on Friday. And we just kept being like, should we do it? And then going back and forth like, should we make a to-go bag? Like, and just kind of chilling. I will say I was happy I was sober.
Exactly.
I had a clear brain. But so then the next day I woke up and Grace, I walked outside. I was supposed to have a meeting, like a Zoom meeting. I walked outside at like 8 a.m. and the sky looked so apocalyptic because we do blackout curtains.
Yep.
And I woke up and I went, oh, I guess the sun hasn't risen, because you normally see like a couple cracks. And I went outside and I was like, oh, it's dark. Oh, it's scary. Yep. Oh, it's Sauron. Oh, it's Lord of the Rings. Oh, what's going on? And I just went inside and woke up Chip and I was like, I think we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Oh, totally. We were in our house on Tuesday night and my uncle who lives in New York texted me at like 6:00 our time and was like, are you guys
Tuesday?
On Tuesday and was like, are you affected by the fires? I was like, no, it's on the other side of town from us. And he said, no, there's one that's very close to you. And I was like, like a player scratch. Yeah. And I looked that up and I was like, oh shit. Okay. And then Elliot and I just started following that. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to start putting stuff together. Like Elliot just went through the hurricanes with his parents who had a harrowing experience trying to evacuate. And so I was like, have we learned nothing? Let's start like grabbing things.
Yeah.
We were also high. So like the stuff that I compiled when I got to Palm Springs.
Was it just crunchy snacks?
It was. So I got to Palm Springs. There's one bag in our garage that like our real estate agent gave us when we moved into this house. It was like, here's important documents. It's been sitting for 4 years in the corner of this garage. So I was just like, okay, we take that, like dusted cobwebs off of it, put it in a pile. When I got down to Palm Springs, I had packed Yams and an Ortega taco kit I was like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? I had a bag of yams.
Aren't even a weekly, like a canned yam?
I kept them in our room. I didn't even put them in the kitchen because I was like, this is embarrassing. That
you had shameful yams?
Yeah, I had quiet yams in our room because I was like, I can't put that. What am I going to do? Be like, here, guys, I brought 3 yams for us to share. And an Ortega taco kit that I had planned on making for Elliot and I at some point during the week. But I was like, I'll bring this down. Like we couldn't go grocery shopping in Ralph's. Like,
I'll be honest. When I saw you packing up to leave, I saw the taco kit and I thought, why didn't she break that out? Mm-hmm. I would have made tacos.
Well, because I brought the taco meat down and it should have been thrown away. It was yams. I was just like, oh, there's yams in this bag. I'll just put that in the corner with all of our stuff.
I feel like yams is your new like code word for like shit's getting a little scary.
Yeah.
Yams.
Elliot, yams. That means that we got to pack up and go.
We gotta get the fuck out of here.
That's our non-safe word.
Oh my God.
I packed like obviously all my medicine, obviously all this stuff that we had in a fire box, like passports and like family photos and stuff. Because it was like one of those things where we woke up, same thing, like went to bed. You had texted me. I was like, I'm going to go to bed because at like 9 to get a couple hours to wake up in the middle of the night and check on how this is doing. So like, I remember waking up at like midnight and texting you back being like, we also packed a go bag in case we need to go.
Because I texted you and because you are closer to that fire and you've been going to sleep earlier, I was nervous because I didn't know how fast it was moving. And I was like, if she doesn't check her phone, if she's asleep, let's say 10 hours.
Right.
Like, is it going to be in her neighborhood?
Right. Well, I woke up all night and then at like 4 or 5, same thing of like, we have blackout blinds. The rims of our blinds were just like this burnt orange color. Yeah. And I was like, this is too early for any of that. And then I looked out the front door. Everything was just like a dusty sepia tone, like the entire everywhere. And I was like, okay, let's go now. Like, let's just go. Like, Elliot,
grab the yams.
Get the yams and let's go. They're going to want these down there. And yeah, then because it's also like, I don't know how crowded it's going to be on the roads.
Well, that was our big fear is the night before. We kept going, should we go now because we know there's not traffic? Because in my head, the scariest thing was it gets too close for comfort. Oh my God, I can't talk. I'm drunk. It gets too close for comfort, and now we're in gridlock.
Right, exactly.
And even worse than that, and now Chip is saying, I told you we should have left earlier.
Right, which, yeah. So now you have this interpersonal drama that's unnecessary.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you start to see all of the images and videos of what everyone's posting and uploading, and you're getting all these texts from family and friends on the other side of the country that are seeing all of these absolutely
devastation.
Like from scenes from movies. And so you're just like, okay, I just need to get out. And it's actually like been weirdly nice that our car got our neighbor shot our car windows out with his BB gun because that neighbor had texted us the night before and was like, we have a generator and this if you guys need it. And like, so now we have like a neighbor to check in with, which
Fabulous.
we didn't have before. So
all it took was his son being an absolute scoundrel.
Yeah, all it took with his son doing a prank from the 1950s.
Crimes.
Yeah. So yeah, then we got to Palm Springs. I like totally forgot that your mom was coming. So like on the way down, I was like, oh shit, yeah, we're gonna be down there with Mamrie's mom.
Yeah,
because my stepbrother lives really close. So I was like, please come with us, and like, because he
of course
lives by himself. And so I was like, also Mamrie's mom's going to be there. And he was like, that sounds like a party.
Jacqueline came down with her pup.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. Well, I mean, just first of all, I know we're like having fun and like trying to,
I feel, to be very honest, I feel crazy today.
Yeah,
I'll be very transparent. Like, this podcast is so nice to have a space. Like, same with when I was going through cancer, of just like a safe space to like have some lulls while like holding space for the seriousness of the situation.
Right. In reality, everyone in Los Angeles, if their house was not affected, they have multiple friends who just lost everything.
Yeah, totally.
And what people aren't realizing too is, yes, a lot of the area, Palisades, whatever, it is a wealthy area. Altadena, it's not.
No,
it's not. It's like a normal family, area. Lots of artists. When I was looking at houses, like maybe I could buy a house in a year, I'm looking in that area type of thing.
Yep. But we looked there.
Yeah, but the fact is like, even if it is an affluent area, like a lot of people, like their money is their house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it's not just like, well, whatever, you have a $3 million house. It's like, that's where all their fucking money is.
Yeah.
And so it's devastating no matter what tax bracket you're in.
Yeah.
And also it's just like,
it's traumatic. Like this is ongoing developing trauma for people that will affect them for years and years from now. Like there's I think one of the most concerning parts to me that gives me anxiety, that I have to like, try and breathe through and all of that, is just the uncertainty of the devastation, like physically and psychologically.
We're too close right now to see.
We're in it. Like it's just, we're in it. And there's like, I learned a lot from what Elliot's parents went through with the hurricane. Because for you and I, we were talking about this in Palm Springs, that we don't have as deep of a connection to stuff.
Right.
I don't have expensive clothes or bags or this or that or whatever. The one thing I got sad that I didn't take with me was Goose's ashes.
I was gonna say.
I was like, that's the one thing when we were driving to Palm Springs, I was like, shit, I didn't take that. But I couldn't decide if I was packing up as if my house was going to burn down, or packing up just to get away from the smoke. And then I'd be coming back. But like Elliot's parents and people that are not like me, they have a deep and beautiful emotional attachment to the memories that are tied to certain things, and that's not to be discounted.
Well, even if you don't because when we were packing up to leave, I was shocked, and I told you when we got to Palm Springs, where I went, I grabbed my passport, I got my dogs, I got like what I thought were a couple important papers, and then just closed for the week and left. And I was like, I was shocked how, when I was going around my house, how little I have connection to, like emotional connection. I was like, why do I have so much shit if I'm not emotionally connected to it? But regardless, even if that was the case, even if you're not a person who has like memories attached to the items and it all went away, it's still just the idea that you don't have those things and you feel untethered. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like when you're single after a long time and you go, wait, who am I texting what I want for dinner?
Like even the symbolic nature of what home represents as a safe space for people is taken away.
Yeah, totally. So it's being like, I don't need to regard these things anymore because they don't exist.
Yeah.
So it's really crazy. And like we said, like it's still happening.
Yeah,
like the winds are picking up right now.
By the time this goes up tomorrow, there'll be a wind, what are they calling it? Wind
advisory?
Wind incident, I think
don't know. It's supposed to go crazy till Wednesday at like 6 p.m. I think.
Yeah, and now that we've seen how crazy it can get, it's really hard to gauge what emotional level to be at in preparation for this.
Yeah.
Of just being like, how, like we've definitely gotten supplies and have fixed our house in certain ways that I think I feel much more like safe in,
right,
and like also ready to go if need be in a much more efficient way.
Totally. And like the last thing you want is people to become desensitized because they're like, oh yeah, the fires are going, like whatever, we'll be fine. It's like, nope, you gotta be on high alert. So anyway, all that to say, like, it's just fucking crazy. And if you can help, that is incredible. And in addition to that,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just because one disaster is happening doesn't mean others are forgotten.
Yeah.
And so like there's a lot of places that need help. And so, I mean, I'm just looking at these GoFundMes and I cry like every fucking 10 old, like,
I know.
We're talking like 95-year-olds.
Yeah, I know.
Who lost their house.
The amazing byproduct is like Los Angeles has really gone into let's help mode.
It's a community.
Like,
Chip went to go volunteer yesterday and he was like, they don't have anything for me to do. I'm picking up trash in the parking lot because there's literally nothing for me to do.
I couldn't find a place to drop my clothes off, and I finally found one in Pasadena. Elliot and I have been waitlisted twice to foster dogs, which we got really excited about doing. We're like, here's how we can help. And then there's so many people are stepping up to do it, which is beautiful.
Well, speaking of dogs, I'm trying to decide because you know me, I can't stop. Like if I want to do like a, hey, Venmo me for this organization and then we don't, you know what I mean? Like I have those, my go-to is like, how do I help? Directly. And is it by like having somewhat of a reach and like getting money? But also I know people are exhausting the finances and all that jazz. Anyway, it's just, you feel like you should be doing more. And then you also know that there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, I was saying, because you also have to protect your own mental health and all of this and blah, 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 blah. But
I'm too sober for this.
There's a lot of infographics about like it can feel overwhelming because there's so many different ways to help. If you try to narrow it down and focus on a way, like a singular way that you can best help, that's better for your own brain. But even that is hard to narrow down.
I'm going to narrow it down. I will say in this dry January journey, if I can not drink during my second natural disaster of 6 months while my mother is visiting, while Trump is getting elected, we can get through anything. Have you ever been to a dentist who wants to chat while they're cleaning your teeth? Or maybe a therapist that only has openings in the middle of your workday? What about a dermatologist who, you know, doesn't help you clean up that blemish, but instead suggests a lot of cosmetic issues you need to deal with? Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to settle anymore, okay? When it comes to finding the right doctor, with ZocDoc, you have got options. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click instantly to book an appointment. And I'm talking a lot of the appointments happen the next day, all right? You can choose a time slot. You can plug in your insurance, make sure they take it. You can look at reviews from actual people and not bots, see their bedside manner, and be in that office the next day. I've done that for everything from a pap smear to an allergy test to a teeth cleaning to a neurologist for some crazy migraines. I am not only telling you to use ZocDoc, I'm telling you I use ZocDoc. And you need to give it a try. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, you name it. If you would like to give it a try, because guys, it's the top of the year, get your body figured out. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/weird to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/weird. ZocDoc.com/weird. Tell me what you booked. I'm nosy.
Today we have support from Audible. Oh, you know we love Audible over here on This Might Get Weird. For the new year, why not expand your life by listening on Audible? Explore over 1 million audiobooks, podcasts, and exclusive Audible originals, all in one easy app. Tap into your well-being with titles that will inspire and motivate you. Find insight and expert advice on health, relationships, career, finance, and so much more. Start positive habits and reach the goals you've set for yourself. Start listening today. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/TMGW. I am currently listening to my girl Brene Brown. You know, it's timeless, it's classic, and I will say listening to any of her books on Audible is so much more impactful to me than reading the physical books, because she reads them and she talks in a very conversational way and you feel like you're one-on-one with her. And I just find the experience a lot more impactful and enjoyable for me. And I can do it on the treadmill. I can't read a book on the treadmill. Haven't tried, but probably shouldn't. Anyway, let Audible help you reach the goals you set for yourself. Start listening today when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/TMGW. Yeah, I will say it was so nice to hang out with your mom for a little bit.
Isn't she the best?
Is just a ray of freaking sunshine. I felt so bad that we were like crashing. Obviously, like the circumstances.
She loved it. She was like, I'm getting to know your friends.
I was talking to her about her church that she goes to, and it was just like so sweet. Really enjoyed it.
She's the sweetest. I wonder how I came from that.
No, you guys are similar. There's this one point on the couch when we were watching Queer Eye, because it's like such a good show to watch, obviously with family. And the way you two both laugh, I was telling Elliot, I was cracking up because you were making me these weed drinks, and then at one point, and I was sitting in the middle of the couch, and you and your mom,
horseshoe.
And I was like, you guys both, if I just soft focus, we're laughing like identically.
Really?
And I was like, oh my God, this is cracking me up.
She killed me. She's such a sweetheart, and she's like so. Like, she doesn't really curse, but she doesn't care what I do. You know what I mean? She didn't care that we're smoking weed. She didn't know, whatever. Give her one glass of Pinot Grigio. It's so funny. I told you, I was like, Mom, just a heads up. I'm doing dry January, so I won't be drinking on your trip, but I'll can't wait to make you drink. She was like, I only drink with you.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't care. But we had a great time. What killed me is another thing I realized we have in common is we went to go get pedicures.
Oh, yeah.
On Saturday. I think it was Saturday. And, we're both really, really ticklish. But here's what killed me. Okay, I probably hadn't had a pedicure in like 3 months. Nothing for us.
Yeah,
that's not crazy.
That's really good. Yeah,
that's pretty good, right? So I get our little treatments, and one of them is like the callus treatment, where they like put your foot in like a bag of whatever, like saline. They're softening up the rough edges, and then they'll
shave it down,
sandpaper it off, right? Mom is like a couple steps ahead of me, and he gets it and he pulls out like the sander, like what have you, totally normal. They get to me. She pulls out I'm not kidding, a commercial grade cheese grater. I could have grated carrots on the thing. I didn't even understand. I was like, is this if someone would have pulled that out during a pedicure, I would think it was prop comedy. Mm-hmm. But no, she went crazy on my feet. And
did it work?
Yeah,
I bet it did.
It worked, but still, my mom was like, wow, that's heavy duty. I was like, this is from TJ Maxx. Yeah. Like, I understand a microplaner, but this was like...
What did they use on your mom's foot?
Like a regular, like a sandpaper-y thing.
Okay, yeah. Like one of those squares or whatever.
We're shredding cheese.
No, yeah, that you had stuff to work with.
Listen, I rationalized it because I was like, I've been on the treadmill a lot more. Mm-hmm. So I'm just building up harder feet.
That would make sense. What if they just that was the only thing they had left to use?
Well, that would make me feel better.
Was it a choice? Like, could you see them going through all the different types of foot scrapers they chose that one?
No, she saw my feet. She went back. She got the solution. She had chosen that. Okay. It wasn't like she looked at her wall of weapons and that was the one before it was an actual Zamboni.
Right.
So my feet feel great, but my ego was tested.
I mean, that's a DIY for everyone at home.
Why?
But you can, DIY would you do that? But if it works, it works.
It works. Okay, before we go, because we do have to go, because I do have to take my dogs to the vet.
Yes.
Don't worry, Larry isn't shitting everywhere, but I appreciate all the concerned comments, and it was a journey.
Jury's still out on whether he shit on my phone in Palm Springs.
He did not shit. I smelled it.
Okay.
It was dirt. He had just been outside.
He just sat he scooted on the rug, and I caught him, and I said, Larry's scooting on the rug. Then he jumped up to me. He sat on my phone, and then he got up and off of my phone, and there was a brown pile of something soft.
It was a fleck.
It was literally less than a dime size.
A fleck.
On one of those 3 cameras on the back of my iPhone. And I was like, did you shit on my phone? I was like, this has to be immediate revenge, because I called him out for scooting on our
You
rug.
said Larry went outside, used the bathroom, came back, scooted, and then you go, and then he hops up, sits beside you.
Yeah.
on your phone, and you go, you shitting on my phone? And then he got up and you go, something's on my phone.
I'm sure it's dirt.
As a mother, I smelled it. It was not poop.
It cracked me up. He is so funny.
But I immediately
I was like, direct hit, Larry. You sunk my battleship.
On
that
the
little butthole on one little lens. I was like, how dare you?
He's so lucky. He's so cute.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. But anyway, take them to the vet. But before we go, just so it's not like we're getting into this, do you have any, and it doesn't have to be like big philosophical or like massive changes. Do you have any like goals or resolutions or anything this year that are, you know, they could be as simple as like, I want to eat more celery to like, I want to find God.
Yeah, I mean, a goal, I wrote a little bit about this on Patreon. A goal is to be like a little bit more like playful and flirty with the mysteries of life. Like a little bit like remove or replace anxiety with curiosity.
Ooh.
Or just try to like add curiosity to the plate a little bit and really like go for stuff that I really want to do. I realized like, especially in this sort of situation, same with you when you're saying like, how do I best like help or like serve? That's been kind of on my mind for the last like year is like, I just want to make people laugh. And then I also want to give back in a way that feels like meaningful. And I haven't been able to like directly figure that out just yet. But that's priority for this year.
Wow.
And also like take care of myself.
I hear you.
Yeah. How about you?
My list sounds different.
What is it? I honestly, I'm a little on the spot. So I'm like, it might not even be that stuff. So I mean, that does sound good to me now, but there's probably, I really want to do my solo show a bunch. Like I want to, of course. That's like if we were to talk like tangible brass tacks, like I want to take that show out and I'm just trying to talk to the right people about how to
we're figuring out how to do that. And also I've got book tour stuff. And so we're 100%. Like, how do we not overlap kind of things? But no, that's amazing. Yeah. Like business wise, like I want everyone to love my cookbook and I want to like create a very cool tour and a very cool lead up and promotions and just, and like leave it all on the field. You know what I mean? Where I don't a few months later go like, oh man, I should have done more for that. Like really kill it. But also, I do have just some like tangible goals. I want to learn mahjong.
Oh, like playing that in person, IRL. Yeah, oh, I've only ever played on a computer.
Okay, but I think it's a little different, but it's like, it's like I believe it's Chinese, like tile game.
Yeah, no, I've played that, but I don't know if playing it on the computer is...
I talked to Claire and she was like, oh, I kind of just played it and it was like a game of memory. But no, I think it's matching. Different because it's, you know, I think it's like kind of complicated.
Yeah.
But my friend Ashley back in North Carolina, she's like, oh, I have like a group of girls who learned mahjong and we get together like once a month to play mahjong.
How fun.
And then even when I brought it up to Claire, because she's an old lady like me, she was like, oh yeah, they even do like a women's mahjong night at the Soho House. So I don't know. It's another like older woman skill.
Well, it feels like pickleball really took off, and that
what's right under mahjong? Pickleball.
Yeah, I would love to do that with you 100% because Elliot's not into it at all. So like
Chip will be into it, but Chip plays tennis and he'll be too aggressive. I want girlies who pickle.
Yeah, I want to pickle.
Let's pickle. So mahjong.
Yeah.
Pickleball.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I mentioned this to you, and obviously this is like, I have a goal to do this, but things might get crazy with work and life, and so don't hold me to it. I want to get a sign language tutor.
Wow.
I want to learn American Sign Language.
Wow.
Here's the thing, is I can't remember another language to save my life.
Yeah.
No matter how much I Duolingo, all that jazz, like it just doesn't stick. However, I'm really good at memorizing choreography.
Yeah. I could totally see you learning ASL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even to the point where me and my cousin, when we were younger, we created like our own ASL and we could like almost communicate in any scenario.
Also, you being a sign language interpreter,
how much would that kill
during the Super Bowl halftime show
concert?
Like any event, honestly, any event. Honestly, if I do my show and I need a sign language interpreter.
See, I also know myself, like I know my pitfalls in how I learn things, so I'll probably be like really great at signing, but like be a lot slower in you know, like reading someone else's signs or whatever the correct terminology is. But so those are my 3 goals that have nothing to do with like career or you know, my own brain. They're just actual skill sets I want to learn.
That hobbies, if you will. How dare you?
What the hell are those?
What is something I should get into? Maybe think about one of these days.
Yeah.
But pickleball for sure.
Okay, well, I found a pickleball gym near me, and I'll set up a lesson.
Let's do it. Let's figure it out.
Guys, what a time we've had.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys again for all of the support and for being so sweet. I feel like, maybe I'll try to put under the YouTube video like places to donate.
That'd be fabulous.
There's tons of resources as soon as you Google.
But there's almost so many resources that it's like confusing.
Yeah,
you know
I'll
what
just
I mean?
put the places that I've donated
That's
to
great.
so far and links to those, and then you guys can check them out from there and maybe add your own if you've already found some great resources.
I want to end this on one question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take the Yams back to LA?
Yeah. Oh, shamefully. Yeah. Threw them away last night.
No,
Yeah,
you should
I
have
was
donated
like-
the Yams.
I was like, these have been through so much because I had them for so long at our house
they
already.
probably were expired.
Honestly, I do not know what I was thinking. I left so much other food at our house. I was like, oh, we'll make these right away.
Also, canned yams are always weird too because like you open it and they're just like floating in liquid like a turd.
This wasn't even canned. These are like sweet potatoes.
Oh, I said were they canned? You had like fresh yams.
No, fresh yams.
I was picturing a can
no,
of
sorry.
Thanksgiving yams.
No, sorry.
This whole time.
That would have been very funny.
That's why that was so crazy to me.
Yeah, no.
It's like canned yams.
No, this I grabbed, left the bread, took the yams that they were sitting next to. I don't know why. It didn't make any sense. If I have to do it again, God willing, I'll do it better.
Oh my God. Well, emotional support yams.
Yes.
That's fine. Stay safe outside. I'm
You
drunk.
got it.
I'm drunk.
You're drunk.
I'm drunk. I'm telling you, sober Delulu is a different kind of drug.
Yuzu Delulu.
Yuzu Delulu. This got weird.
Yep.
This might get weird.